Hello again, Internet. Today I am going to be making a part for my laser cutter. Um, this is a tube extension box. Uh, Maybe there's a better term for that. That's just what I named it. And basically, it goes on the side of a laser cutter, so you can fit in a tube that's too long to fit inside the laser cutter. So it's just a little bit extra enclosure for it, which is I made this when I upgraded to my 80-watt laser tube. Um, and I've got a 90-watt on the way, which won't fit into this. Did the maths, and it looks like I'm really close, but I'd actually want at least 20 millimeters of extra space for safety reasons anyway. Um, and in addition to that, this is kind of a not a great design for a couple reasons. First of all, there's no way to get at the wire and the coolant line that goes in here without pulling the whole tube out. And secondly, it's just kind of square. I mean, it looks all right with the logos and all that, but if I could maybe taper it up a little bit, I think that would be ideal. Uh, so I could start all over and all that, but since this is probably going to be a one-off, I'm basically just going to work with what I've got here. So I took this old file, I saved a new version of it, and so then I can freely hack away at it. So it looks like we started with a sketch of what the old plate that was covering that hole was. It was just a flat plate when I got the machine. Uh, Thankfully, they did put the hole there behind the plate so that you could actually do the upgrades without too much trouble. And I am just going to roll way back to there. And I think starting from there is actually a good place. So, let's see. Oh, we've got, this is back when I called it wood thick instead of material thick, but I can leave it there. 4.5. Safe distance of 5. Don't want this thing to have any weaknesses. Alright, so how thick is this? Probably not as thick as my wood thickness. No, it's not. Alright, well, I'll just use it as a template to work on. And I think I'm on this face, but just to double check. Alright, so obviously I need these holes as part of my base. And then I want this shape in here, and I want it to be the full size. So I'm not losing anything at the hole anyway. But it can be filleted a little bit, which doesn't need to be super accurate. 10's a good even number. And then I need the outsides of this thing. So I'll go from here to here to get a, actually no, we'll go from there to there to get a theoretical center. And for construction. Then if I take this rectangle and make that for construction, and I'm going to say this is going to be equal to my safe distance, and then my material thickness, or wood thickness in this case, and then the safe distance again. And just because this is going to be at a slight angle, I'm just going to add 2. Basically, the wood coming in is going to be a little bit thicker than material thickness because it's coming in at an angle. So by adding 2, I've given myself plenty of extra room. I'll go tangent to this. And then I draw on another rectangle, kind of do the same thing, make that for construction. If I right click here, I can't quite grab that, but if I select other, Then I can grab that, and I'm going to hold down Control, select Other there, and those are equal. And let's it there. All right, I can worry about fillets on the outside later. Let's just, for now, equals wood thickness, and I don't want to merge it. And then I can hide this old plate. So, I'm going to draw on here. I'm going to draw a slot. And my new tube is 65 millimeters diameter, but some tubes are 80, and I may decide to switch in the future. I don't want to make this yet again if I don't have to. So I'm going to make that 80. And then I'll go tangent here, and tangent there, and just draw a line across. It's coincident on one side, midpoint on the other. That way I go perpendicular and it's locked down. For construction, and let's see, we want the center point. Oh, I want something that's on this line to be coincident with that, but not necessarily the center point. And then there'll be midpoint the other way. And so perpendicular. All right, so that locks it down. So got that shape. I'm going to extrude going this way. And I need 203. So I'm going to just give myself an extra, since this is a 1250, I'll give myself an extra 50 millimeters on there maybe. So maybe 250. See how that looks. $255, just, all right. Then, on that same plane, I'm gonna make another slot. And I don't have to draw all my geometry back in, because I can use some of it. And we want to be perpendicular there. And we want to go tangent there. And we want to go tangent there. And this one, let's see, I already did make this 80 millimeter diameter, didn't I? Yes, I did. So I want 80 millimeters diameter, which is 40 radius. And I want like a 20 safe zone. So that pretty much fills the whole thing. In which case I'll just have it fill the whole thing. And it probably just buries the old one, but that's fine. Alright, so that's the safe zone I'd like to keep. Which kind of destroys my idea of a tapered design. Now that I actually look at it like that. So I don't want to waste any space that I could have. I might need to adjust this up and down. Okay. So sometimes you got an idea and then you draw it out and it doesn't work. So you go back and at least address the other issues you were having. And plus, now I don't need this +2, which makes it a little bit smaller. All right. So let's say I offset this reversed. I say that's equal to safe distance. Then I select this chain, offset it reversed. And I say that's equal to my wood thickness. So all the teeth need to go in there. hide this for a second. And let me just go normal to my sketch. Select everything. Make it all for construction. This doesn't have to be all fancy and parametric like my normal designs. You say I want a section at each corner. It's just a keep out area. And just make all these lines equal with each other. And equals my wood thickness times 2. Make those all for construction again. So I'm just making the holes right now. So something like that, something like that. And let's make this suppose about 10. Just start from there. These don't have to be square. Actually they do, because I'm going to be looking at them. They don't have to be exactly square, but yeah, come think of it, I'm going to be looking at these all day. They have to look nice. I'm going to get rid of both those dimensions, but just a starting point. So do a linear pattern going this way, and it's about 9. Maybe. Yeah, 17 looks about right, but I'll round down. And I'll remove this dimension and just use a construction line so that the gaps in the teeth are the same. And then I can edit this pattern and say I want you to go 2 in that way. And do a coincident down here. And these want to slide left or right, so just do a coincident there if it'll let me. Alright. Select this chain, do a linear pattern. It actually is going to be 2, so that's fine. Just increase this so it's out of the way for now. And go down. It's about 9 per set of teeth. And just try a few numbers till I find something that looks good. Alright, that's about perfect. And go over here, do a coincident for this one. And let's see what's going on here. So I don't know why they're blue. I'll do a Control Z just in case I did something without knowing it there. Get rid of this. Use a construction line to do the same thing. Make those equal. And let me try just doing a coincident here, see if that fixes it. Alright, we're fully defined. So I'm going to do extruded cut, go through all, but only through this one piece. Okay, so we got the teeth openings in this plate done. And it looks like I can come in a little bit that way, now that I've drawn those teeth, of course. Yeah, we'll see. So this I made 255 long, and in addition to that, actually I can just edit that original feature. I'm going to add 20 to prevent arcing. So it's a pretty big box right now. Let's see, this is, so my old one is 203. This one's going to be about 280 once it's all put together. So not quite 4 inches more, if I'm doing the math right on that. But it must be done. All right, so let me make the back panel then. So just make it close to this for starters, just so I've got something to work on that is lines and endpoints. All right, and this one, theoretically, the teeth could be like right here. I'm not sure why I don't do that. That way, even the top and the bottom would slant in a little bit. I think I'll do that. Oh, no, keep wanting a tight material thickness. This is an old design I'm working on. When I opened it up, it gave me an alert that it was saved in an old version of SolidWorks, so yeah. So I've got, I'm gonna have to actually draw in the teeth themselves this time. And these two are gonna be equal because they're both gonna be my wood thickness. Actually, I'm going to make it wood thickness times 2 because I'm going to have to trim. I'm going to have to make it a little bit too long and then trim it off, I think. Let's draw in a couple construction lines. So that's for construction, and it's equal. That's for construction. Well, that's equal. That's for construction. For the time being, we'll make this 4.5. Make this 4.5. Adjust that later. And do a linear pattern to that way. And let's see, 9 between them. And 15 maybe? 13? 12 it is. Draw another construction line, make it for construction and equal. Delete this dimension. Draw in another construction line. Again, for construction and equal. And then lock down the bottom ones as well. And I think they just need a coincident here to make them in line. If I can. So those are fully defined. Do the same thing over here. Go down 15 maybe. Let's do it till it looks about right. So got a construction line there. It's going to be for construction and equal. And I don't need this anymore either. So make this for construction and equal. And this is going to be coincident. And another coincident. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And let's extrude this up. All right. And I also want some corner bits on there too, I think. Well, actually I can't, now that I think of it. So I'd need another space. It'd have to be a corner bit that was solid, and that was already also over to another space. I suppose I can still do it. Just like that. Just make it a triple instead of a double. All right. So now, got a piece that's coming. Let's see, that I can't cut back. This I can extend out, and then I can extend these that way. But this is going to be staying there. And this is going to be staying there. So make a plane between them. And let's see, first of all, actually, don't even need to convert it yet. I'll worry about that later. Start just by making a rectangle. And this rectangle will be too big, but we can cut it down. And it goes up to there. So it's at a slight angle, but it's better than nothing, I guess. And we want to go in that way. All right. Let's see. Should just be able to combine that. Let me double check. Might be able to combine both of them. So if I hide these, see what I've got left. So I've got to cut all that out. And the bottom combined did nothing. Okay. That's probably because I didn't make the bottom big enough. Let's make that for construction. Just extend these way past. It's going to be parallel, equal, parallel, equal. All right. So, I'm going to use this just as a template. To make all these rectangles. Lots of rectangles. And still more rectangles. And one more. All right, I'm gonna start grabbing their sides here. So I can make these all equal. And I just grabbed a point by accident. So make those all equal. And yeah, just make these equal. And actually I want to trim all the way off on the sides there, I think. So these are collinear, they are equal. This goes back, Control Z. Come on, drag it, Control Z. All right. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. All right. Parallel, you're equal. And parallel. And parallel equal. And equal one more time. All right, that's fully defined there. Then just cut all of this off, and I'll worry about the rest of the fingers afterwards. So those are those fingers. They may need adjustment later. Those are those fingers. They will still need a little bit of a trim, it looks like. And I'm not sure about how it did that. Oh, it's because it's at a slight angle. That would be why. So I'm going to select all of these. Convert. And I'm just going to extrude that up to the other side real quick. And then I just need to trim this bit off, which it looks like it's wider in the back, so I'll work from there. All right, what did I just, I guess I have a little leftover bit there. All right, this will need some work, but right now I'm just kind of working on the basic design philosophy more than the final product. Let's see, right plane is 87,535. 87,535. All right, so I can use the right plane to mirror things. So that locks in there. So then I need a plate that will lock in here. So grab that edge and grab this edge. Draw on that plane. And let's see. Just going to draw a big rectangle. And I will say it ends 50 down and 50 up. And put a point on the midpoint. And grab that right plane. And then just make these two equal. Why not? So extrude that. The other way equals wood thickness. Don't merge it. All right, so that's the future side. So copy that. Copy that. Nope, nope. I want to combine now. Take that and that away from it. And then hide everything else. So let's go from this side, it looks like. So let's sketch, do a convert entities, select all, extrude cut through all. And then on this side, we've got extra fun. So I'm going to first start by converting all these so that they're not sunken in ever so slightly and at an angle. And bring them to the other side. right. Let's do a sketch here. I'm going to go from that corner to that corner. I'm going to convert this whole thing. And go to here, I guess. And there. Through all on this panel. So it's cut down a little bit at least. And got that same issue as last time here again. So make a long rectangle, make it coincident with one of these points. And just do dimensions here. Again, this is something I would probably only ever make one, so a little bit of hackiness is not a problem for me. All right, so that's trimmed down at least a little bit. All right, so that kind of locks in there. I need teeth to lock them together, of course. So, say intersection curve for that, then we can hide it. And we do a quick check on this plane, make sure that's centered as well. 89.5. 89.5. Good deal. So that way I can just mirror this around that. Maybe it'll let me. Maybe if I have nothing selected at first. Oh, I am working on this side. Oh, my bad. Right. So this I want to be here. This I don't want to be here. So that confuses me apparently. And while I'm at it, I'll get rid of some other stuff too. All right. So it looks like that's almost goes off the piece, but not quite. So I'll use 3-point rectangles, make things a little bit easier. And let's say I put a midpoint there. Let's say it's the midpoint of that. And I'll do the same thing here. And I will say these are all equal. And I can make it bigger than necessary. Alright, so now looks about right anyway. Let's cut some teeth into this thing. Just for symmetry's sake, I will keep those the same. And temporarily I'll make this 4.5. And I'll make this material thickness or wood thickness. And I will select this chain, do a pattern, going this way. Spacing of 9, start with 20, work from there. Yeah, it looks, maybe one more. Yeah, that works. Maybe. Nope, back it off one. And I'll do an equal construction line down at this end. And get rid of this dimension. Make those equal. And let's go on a new sketch. Convert all those so I can just select those easily. Do a mirror. And I want to mirror about that. Alright. And I need another piece to hit this with. Well, actually, no. I just want to cut the one piece. Yeah. So this piece goes away. And we make a new version of it. This sketch can hide. Alright. So then we got this panel. It's going to have some holes in it. So let's say, at least try. I don't know if it'll let me do this, but I'll at least try to do subtract because it's faster. It sure did not allow me to do that. Alright. Just thinking of the best way to deal with this without getting too intense. Yeah. So I'm going to take these two, make a midplane, sketch on it, and I'll take this and I'll say intersection curve, and then I'll take this other body, I'll say intersection curve, and let's see if it'll let me do that as an extruded cut through all both on this one piece. Alright, let me get away with that. Let's hide this plane I don't need anymore, and I'll hide this, and hide these two, go normal to this. So I want to sketch on it so that I can remove some unwanted parts of it. So do the same thing on the other side. Go coincident there. Do extruded cut through all, only in this one piece. And I've got a little bit of a whisker there. Deal with that quick enough though. That midpoint, it's easy there that way. And do a cut. Okay. Let's bring these back. So this plane can mirror that. Alright, so it'll be glued along, well, it'll be glued along all the seams, but these will also be kind of pressed in at the same time as being glued. This back piece, need to cut these fingers down. So I can just make a rectangle, and I'll say it's piercing there. Say it's coincident there, actually. And there. And do another coincident there. And then one more on the other side. So select that chain. I'm going to say offset by 100. And do an extruded cut through all, only in that end piece. Alright. So I've got my box. Screws on. Tube goes inside it. There's also going to be aluminum foil and a grounding wire, just in case there are arcs. And all I really need to do is fix up the pieces so that they're not all messed up like they currently are. So, that in mind, let's pick one of the pieces. And actually, pick all the pieces. And I'm sure there's some interferences, so let's see where they are. Probably everywhere. Yep. So there's interferences, yeah, all the way along down there, of course. So let's go in here. And we just want to convert a whole bunch of entities. All the ends of these, want to use them to enlarge the holes. These are at slight angles, and I modeled these holes not at an angle at all. So I gotta grab every single one of them. And it slowly converts all those. A lot of little items to convert there. There we go. And it'll probably take a second to do this cut as well. But maybe not too much. And hide everything but that. Because now these spaces are a little bit smaller than I'd like them to be. They're probably still fine, but might as well make them what they're actually intended to be. So just make a safe distance all the way around. Oh, and that's wrong. I want to go to that. And then I'll just convert this. And go up to here. Just a little bit extra material on the sides there. Alright, let's go back to having everything again. So now, if I do an interference detection, that shouldn't be detecting those at least. No interferences, really. Well, I didn't expect it to be done that quickly. All right, wonderful. So then, let's hide everything except that. We'll just start on any panel, really, but start on this one. So I'm going to convert it. And just going to draw an absurdly big circle. Extrude cut through all this one panel. I'm hoping to get an error. All right, that's the error I wanted. Try it from the other side as well. Go through all. Oh, might help if I click check instead of X. All right, so that time it did work, so that means it cuts something off. Just so it's fully defined. All right, and now I'm looking for if there are any lines. Like if there was a line right here, I'd have an undercut that I need to deal with, but this looks good. Let's see. All right. And this, I can actually just mirror across rather than doing it again on the other side. So get rid of the old version of it. Get the name. So those two are done. And then do kind of the same thing here. Except this one's got inside stuff too. So I'm going to start with just selecting all the inner loops. Do an extrude cut through all, only applying to this body. And gives an error, good. Delete all that. Do the other side. So convert all those. Do a cut through all and only applying to this. See if I get an error that way. Give me an error that way. Okay, good deal. And since there's only a few left, I can just quickly go 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90, 90. I don't see any undercuts. Okay, so that one looks good. Probably just delete that, but whatever. Just as these get done, I'll give them names. All right. And again, convert this, make a big circle. Might as well mention it so if it does work, I don't have to come into the sketch again. Do an extrude cut through all, applying only to this body. Probably give me an error. Okay, good deal. So delete those. Try it on the other side. And just lock that down. Try doing this cut again. Okay, so that did cut it down a little bit. Let's see, look for undercuts. So that looks good. There should be a matching one of those. So delete that. And make a new matching one. Give these names real quick. And then I've just got the end plate. So convert those. And try cutting off the edges. Okay, good deal. And I'll try it from the bottom as well. Accidentally deleted this dimension. Try cutting again. All right, so that one was already fine. All right, so got all of our pieces here that I need to make. So the tube goes in there. I've took all the stuff up before it goes in there. There's also going to be a layer of aluminum foil and a ground wire going to the machine earth, the frame, however you want to call it. Yeah, got, and it looks like I should have an interference there. Just double check real quick. I think we're good. Yeah, it looks like it's done, and then it's not. All right. So yeah, that's it set up, and then we need to do kerf. We need to do a flat layout, and possibly graphics as well, because the old one has graphics, so the new one should have graphics too, right? So I'm gonna offset by a tiny amount the whole face. And then I'm going to edit that to say it's equal to the kerf divided by 2. And go up to there. All right. And actually, put all this stuff in a folder real quick. So I've kind of messed up because all this suppressed stuff is part of an old design. Because I just rolled back and started working from the first thing in the whole thing. But whatever. So we got this side done. So then this side needs to go away so that I can just mirror that across. And then I'll hide those. Do the same thing up here. Offset it by just a tiny amount, and then I can adjust that afterwards. And let's go up to the other side of this panel. And we can get rid of that. Mirror across. And then we can hide both of those. Those are done. Let's do this top one first. And there we go. So then I can hide that piece. And I am thinking I was going to put fillets on the corners. I never got around to it. So I can put them on now and then just back them up in the tree. If I can grab the corner, I can put them on anyway. So if I expand that out, I can just drop that right there. All right. So now that's before I started doing all the curve stuff. So let's see. I'm going to convert all the inner loops. And then I'm going to select everything. Say it's all for construction. I'm going to offset by a tiny amount and reversed. And I'll say that's equal to kerf divided by 2. Then I'll select the face, do an offset. And so that's also equal to kerf divided by 2. All right. Do an extrude boss up to the other side of this panel. And it very slowly processes that. Okay. So that's all the panels kerfed. So throw those all in the folder. Now, I need to roll down to there. And I'm guessing, no, it didn't throw any errors, but I don't need any of this. And I don't need that. Yep, error, 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 blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to delete the stuff I don't need, keep the stuff I want to keep. A lot of the stuff kind of deleted itself, which is fine. And unfortunately, when I delete all these sketches, or when they just stop existing because they delete something else, the equations stay behind. So I'm going to have to clear those out. Eventually. Let's see, so when I was doing modeling, I started at sketch 20. So anything that before sketch 20 is definitely getting deleted. All right. So there we go. And let's see, don't need those anymore. So got my little keep calm and burn things logo. And I've got my electrical lightning bolt 25,000 volts in there. So let's see. Let's see. Hardware. And we want in there, I think. Trying to remember where I put all this stuff. Could put lightning on it. I've got the, see if this is the same one. Yeah, that's the same one. I feel like I had a different one of those. That's not really ideal for that end piece. And this is up and down. All right. Well, I guess I might put that on the side then. On the back, I'll put the electrical thing. Oh. Start with the line, then the circle. And make that tangent. And I'm going to offset that by 5. So that is 110. So I'll divide that by the diameter here. And then I can scale this. All right. Do a move copy body. And that is going to be concentric with that. And find a plane here. That will be parallel with that. And then this face, I'll just sink in a tiny little bit. All right. So now if I do a combine subtract and hide that sketch, good deal. All right, let's see if I can figure something out over here. So I'm going to do a rectangle and just make it the biggest rectangle I can while still being rectangular and still fitting entirely on the piece. All right, select this chain, offset it inwards by the same amount as the circle over here was. And let's see, 260.90596.454 divided by, what is it now? 100.63157895. So that's how much I need to scale that one. Let's move this. So I want that to be there. And I want that to be there. And I want the stick part sticking out, so that be there. I want it to be offset it just ever so slightly. And then just need something to lock this down. All right. And let's see how that looks when I do it. Yeah, that's definitely too big. All right, so should I do the right one? So could be up to 260 wide, and it is. Oh, so I guess it's a little bit taller than it is wide. That's fair enough. So 140.78483.142 divided by 153.15654538. So it needs to be a little bit smaller. So I can just go back at the scale and say it's times that. And let's see, then this will be 239.830444215. So I'm going to edit this sketch. Just add in another rectangle. So set the width. And the height will be, of course, to there. Then I can edit my move copy body. Because this is not right anymore. This is not right. This apparently wasn't right. And I don't even see where the part went. Way over there. Great. All right. Grab you. Come back over here. All right, so I'm locking down this, locking down this. I think I need one more. All right. Combine, subtract, that. Still not deep enough. Jeez, this really is deep. Should be enough that time. All right. So got warning to keep calm and burn things. That's good to keep in mind. High voltage on the back. This side faces the wall. This side faces the table. And this side should have graphics. Right. And let's drop this one. I don't even know where that dropped. There it dropped. Ah. All right, so how long is this guy? I feel like width is going to be a bigger concern. 140. So if I go from there to there, 156. All right, so that's not bad. So I want two of those overlapping. So don't want them to be entirely overlapping. I'd say like 50%. So basically I need 1.5 of them to fit within this 156. Call it 160. This needs to be 106 wide. It's 140. So I can scale that down. All right. It's so far away, I don't even know how it relates really. So I can start by a relatively easy one. No. Start the move copy body first. And I can just do coincident for the time being. And I should have clicked OK to that. Whoops. All right. But I was zigzagging out of there. Say it's 106 wide. So maybe I want some planes. Nope, nope. 106 offset. And go the other way. All right. Let's do move copy bodies again. And that again. And let's see. Want this to be the outside. So that's wrong. Try it that way. Okay. And go after the actual cutting part now. And that is facing down as it should. All right. And just grab that corner. And say it's coincident with that. So it's locked down 3 ways basically. Modify this coincident into a distance. Only a small one though. All right, good deal. Let's take this. Actually, these planes are way out farther than they needed to be. Let's see, how wide is this? Did I just freeze with SolidWorks? Yeah, this is a bug. Sometimes when you click 2 faces, it just stops responding for a while. And it says it's doing a command, but it's not running a command. It's just kind of sitting there. And sometimes it can take a few seconds, sometimes it can take a lot more than that. Oh. Okay. Normal distance, 175. And that's actually out past the edges of this plane, or this panel that we're working with. So 175. And to the other side. Not even sure this panel gets, or this plane gets used, but whatever. Then I want to take this center. Say I want to mirror this. And I want to combine those two. And hope it lets me. Could take a minute. Then I'm going to do combine subtract. This panel minus these graphics. And this will probably take a minute. Nope, not that bad. Alright, so I've got fancy graphics drawn up there. Got graphic on the back. Got graphic on the front. Don't need them there. Kind of feel like I should have one there just because, but at the same time, just a waste of time, really. So, yeah, I think that's pretty well set, actually. Let's get rid of this folder I don't need. And just put all these in a folder together. And hide the planes I don't need anymore. Hit save. Alright, then it's just a matter of doing a flat layout and getting it ready for the laser software. So if you've stuck around all this time, thanks for joining me, and talk to you next time.